All right, CFW, here we go. We're going into our new cycle for August. This one's going to be a fun one. I've been excited about this one, thinking about it. So since it's the month of August, I just wanted to have like a nice month where we just have fun, do some benchmarks, do some testing, and keep it pretty fun for the month. Like keep it simple, but yet also having some cool little tests along the way, seeing where you're at with your fitness. And these are all kind of benchmarks for us to be able to use later on in the program to see how we're improving in these categories. So the way that I have this cycle structured is Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays we're going to be doing some kind of workout that's going to be testing a benchmark, testing your strength, your cardio, your endurance, your skill, something to do with either one of those categories or a combination of those categories. And then in between Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, we're going to focus a little bit more on aerobic conditioning. And I want to kind of take those days a little bit of a lighter day so that when you do your test on Monday, I don't want you to be beat up going into a test on Tuesday. And I purposely kind of did that. So you have a day where you can kind of let your body relax a little bit. And then on Wednesday, you can really perform and really push your best. So it's strategically kind of done that way. And it's also there in disguise to kind of help you guys build your conditioning in the background, but without kind of having that like performance or that stress to perform or that stress to go fast or go hard, because you don't actually need to do that all the time, nor is it actually productive for your development and your physical fitness. So Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, more benchmark days. Those days you can bring it in fifth gear, push it, really test your limits, see where you're at. Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, easier, longer conditioning days, getting sweaty, just moving, no scores, nothing like that. Don't need to worry about that stuff on those days. Just trying to get moving. And then Sundays, we're going to have some partner workouts. So it's going to be lots of fun with that. So I'm going to go through each day right now. Mondays, so this Monday, on this holiday Monday, for our community WOD, we're going to get our first benchmark in. And some of these benchmarks you've probably seen, and some of them I have made kind of custom based on kind of what I see and what would make the most sense. So this Monday, we're going to do a custom kind of benchmark, 5 rounds for time, 400-meter run, 15 kettlebell swings, 9 pull-ups. So we got an element of cardiovascular, kind of like the monostructural conditioning. This is where we're doing one kind of movement that's eliciting a cardiovascular stimulus. The kettlebell swing is going to be more of our weightlifting stimulus or strength stimulus. And then the pull-ups are going to be more of the calisthenics, gymnastics piece of this, and a little bit skill as well. So we're testing so many different elements in this. And with all the rounds, we're testing the endurance overall with it. So the idea today is to get a strength, skill, and an endurance stimulus. All of those are kind of like baked in within that. And as we get stronger, as we get more enduring, the goal is to improve your time on this workout. So when you do retest this down the road, you should be getting faster. Or maybe you're going heavier or a harder progression and you're matching your time from the easier progression that you did last time. So with that also said, like, make sure you're tracking, guys. I want to see all your names in there. I want to see detailed notes. Write down what you're doing so that the next time you do this, you're like, oh, I forgot to track. I wish I knew what it was. Track it now. So make this month all about tracking and really getting those down. So Monday, 5 rounds for time, 400-meter run, 15 kettlebell swings, 9 pull-ups. And then what the goal of this is the strategy being like, try to keep consistent times per round. Don't go into that first round really hard and then like try to like survive the last 4 rounds. You want to make it in such a way that when you finish your fourth round, you have a little bit left in the tank where you can really kick it into sixth gear on that fifth round and really push hard and empty the tank there. That's kind of how you want to treat it. It's a skill, obviously. There's going to be endurance involved and strength involved, which is the beauty of it. We get to test so many different elements in this. And then as always, meet yourself where you're at with your skill level. Adjust and scale accordingly based on where you're at with your strengths, weaknesses, all of that stuff. So that's Monday. Tuesday, like I said, is going to be the easier conditioning day. Not that it's just like easier, we're like not trying. It's just about like being smart about our training and also being still productive at the same time. So on the Tuesday, we're doing a 45-minute steady, easy pace, 3 rounds, which makes up 45 minutes, is 4 minutes of rower bike, then 1 minute of push-ups. And in those push-ups, we're not going like fast. I don't want to get you a bunch of reps. I want you to explore different hand positions. Okay. So we're so used to kind of having our hands straight forward. I want you to play around with turning your hands, maybe going on the fist on one side. I want you to be as creative as possible. And there's no rep requirement in that 1 minute. I'd rather you just have fun and move and offload some of that like intensity stress and just more about exploratory. So try different things, try different movements, explore a little bit, different body positions or different hand positions, I should say, with this one. Then 4-minute bike or row. Then you're going to go into lunges. You can do a mix of forward lunges, lateral lunges, and reverse lunges. Then you're going to row or bike again, and then 1 minute of supine to standing. So basically lying down flat on the ground with your chest facing up. And then I want you to come up to a standing position and then come back down again. And you can do it in any way that you like, any style, do it at any pace that you like. Just get moving. Just get the heart pumping a little bit. So easy, kind of, you can think of this as like zone 2, but it's not really about that. It's more about just like a steady, easy pace. Get the cardio going. This is like your base level of your fitness that you're working on, but also just kind of taking it a little bit easier on this day. Wednesday, we get to kick it back up again, so we can set it back into that 5th gear, whatever you want to call it. We're going to do some grip strength testing. This is a really interesting one. There's a lot of statistics with like your all-cause mortality, all of those things. There's lots of really cool studies that are out with this, but it's also a good indicator of left and right differences. If you have any elbow or shoulder problems, sometimes those problems are actually just coming from your grip strength or your ability to coordinate and move your hands in the first place. So we're going to start with a cool little test with some using a dynamometer, which is a grip strength tester. The way that this test works is that we're going to be seated. You're going to have your arm 90 degrees and neutral, and you're going to set that dynamometer at a width that works for your hand. So you don't want it to be like really wide or really small. You want it to be kind of like exactly your size. And I'm actually going to make a video about this so that you guys can kind of follow along. But you're basically going to do 3 attempts on one side and 3 attempts with the other side with 1 minute rest in between each of your attempts. So just do this with partners and you guys can kind of keep track. Your score is going to be the average of those 3 attempts on each side. So do 3 attempts on the right side, 3 attempts on the left side, and take your average of the right side and take your average of the left side out of those 3 for each of those sides. And that's going to be your score. And you can put your measurements in kilograms. You can change it to pounds. It's up to you. But a lot of the studies that this is going to come off of is in kilograms, but you can just obviously easily convert. Not too hard to do that. Then we're going to test grip stamina. So another one is max dead hang. So just hanging from a bar. How long can you hang? And with this one, like basically just, I'm going to keep this super simple. It's just like jump up on a bar and then how long can you hang from it? This is going to test your grip stamina. So how long can you hold? And obviously a little bit of strength, but a lot more of the stamina specifically to those muscles. And this is a good way. It's like, hey, if you're trying to work on pull up, if you're struggling with a hold, this is a good spot to start training because you obviously need to have a good grip to pull yourself up. And if you don't have good grip stamina or strength, it's going to be really difficult. So we're going to test that. 1 attempt, max hang. You're going to measure your time held in seconds. And stimulus, or like what you're going to feel is like your forearm's going to blow up in this one. So that's where you want to go to. Just when you're like just barely hanging on, and then you have to let go to kind of come off. Then the workout where we're testing our high intensity, that high range, kind of like the 5th or 6th year of your endurance. We're going to test the burpee box jump over test that we did on May 15th. 50 burpee box jump overs for time at 24 inches for the guys and 20 for the ladies. So straightforward, just get that done as quick as possible. I would either do the as prescribed or do the progression you did last time and see if you can beat that. If you're not sure, pick obviously a box height that you're comfortable with or something that you're not going to obviously like have any doubts jumping over to. And something that you just keep a consistent pace with. So see what you did last time, see if you can beat that this time. And then a reset, cool down, 10-minute bike or row, easy pace, just low intensity. Try to bring that heart rate back down. Try to get that lactic acid to kind of like flush, move a little bit in your body rather than just kind of be stuck and just like, I know I got the Fran lung kind of feeling when I was done. So trying to get a little bit through that with a quick little reset at the end. Then Thursday, with all that high intensity, we're just going to dial it down to a lower intensity, 30 minutes, steady pace, 5 rounds of 1 minute skipping, 1 minute inchworms, 1 minute row, 1 minute step ups, 1 minute bike, and then 1 minute of single arm farmer's walk. Same idea as Tuesday, steady pace for this one for the 30 minutes. Then we're going to get into our Friday benchmark, gymnastics benchmark, pull up benchmark with this one. In 7 sets, find a 1 RM weighted pull up or find your maximum pull up progression, as in, like, what's the hardest progression you can do for a pull up? Maybe that's a certain angle on a ring row. Maybe that's a certain band tension. Like, maybe you can do like 5 green banded pull-ups, but then when you go to a purple it's like 3, and then like as you take that tension down, you're getting closer and closer to just that 1 rep. What is that 1 rep that we're looking for? What is the band tension for that 1 rep? So we're trying to find what's the closest that we can get to a strict pull-up, or if you have a strict pull-up, what's the heaviest strict pull-up can you do? So it might be falling into one of those categories. Basically testing upper body pulling strength today. That's the idea of that first part. So 7 attempts. When it gets more challenging, give yourself more rest in between sets so that you can get the true accurate measurement of what's your 1 rep max on that. And then our workout, we're going to do this benchmark that you guys have probably seen, those OGs that have done this CrossFit benchmark before, 21-15-9 of deadlifts and handstand push-ups, 10-minute time cap. We're testing strength and endurance, going at this at an 8 out of 10 pace because we want to set a like a data point for where we're at with this workout. This is a great workout to test our skill, strength, and endurance. The deadlifts are going to be a great way to test the posterior chain. So that meaning the backside of your body, hamstrings, glutes, low back, upper body, like the muscles on the backside. 225 should be a weight today that you can do each of those sets in 2 to 3 sets. So the 21s you can break up into 2 to 3 sets there. And then the same thing with the handstand push-ups. Pick something that you can do those 21s, 15s, and 9s in 2 to 3 sets. We're looking to get this done in 10 minutes or less, okay? No more than 10 minutes. If it's taking you longer than 10 minutes, the progressions are maybe too challenging for you. So make sure you adjust accordingly and find that out in the warm-up, like right away. Ask yourself, hey, can I actually, the progression I just tried out in the warm-up, can I do this for 2 to 3 sets to get 21 done? Or am I going to actually kind of like hit that failure point really early and then have to go down to 1? So be smart about how you progress this, and always just like write down what progressions you did so that we can retest this again in the future. So then after that, again, bringing our nervous system back down to a state of recovery. We're going to take Saturday as a day to do some aerobic conditioning. Little bit different, 30 minutes, steady, easy pace, 200-meter jog, come back, 5 Turkish sit-ups per side at a light weight. The idea there is like we're going to work on some rotation, some proprioception, skill. It's just fun, different kind of movement. And then you're going to go 200-meter row, come back, 3 overhead lunges per side, and then 10 cal bike. And then we're going to go into 1 Turkish get up per side. So all those movements are kind of like building up to that Turkish get up. And the idea with that is that we're working on some movements that are requiring some rotation, some single-sided movements, keeping it light though, so we can kind of pay attention to form, technique, keeping the intensity low, and then just keeping a steady pace going with this one. Then on Sundays, as I mentioned, bringing partner WODs back, keeping it fun. For the August, we're just going to do partner WODs all the way through. Do these in teams. So come with your partner so that you can attack these workouts. This one is a 20 rounds workout for time, relay style. So it means that one partner is going to work for a full round, and then you're going to pass it off to the next partner, and is going to do the next round. And all of the rounds add up to make 20 rounds. So you're going to each do 10 rounds each. So it's 8 dumbbell snatches, 6 calorie row, 4 burpees, 25-minute cap. Choose a weight for the dumbbell snatches where you can go unbroken, but it feels a little bit challenging. Like you kind of have to focus on it. You don't want it to be super light where you're just like flying through and you don't feel it. I want you to have a little bit of weight on there that challenges you. So whatever that is for you, something that feels like a 7 out of 10. Other than that, guys, hope you're pumped up for the cycle. There is some cool little surprises that I'm going to put for the last week of benchmarks. There is something that we're going to do that's going to involve the community. And yeah, I will post it in the notes, just kind of finding out some fine details around that. But stay tuned for that. It will be really cool. Really pumped for that. Something that we have never done before. And yeah, so stay tuned. Other than that, hope you guys are excited, and I'll see you guys at the gym. Hope you have an awesome week and great job on the last cycle. See you guys.